Buster, this ain't a rental. Talking moody, all these diamonds up in my dental. I get never minded if I offend you. I need the silence, chaos is in my mental. You need a PJ, first class, not what you went to. You need the relay, chase money like you sane. I'll give you the boat, chain, and plane. Fame name, that's insane. Pop up. You need a, in case the movies get insane. You need a ruby, the kind of jewelry that's from the rain. I'm just here to remind you, but never mommy, man. I'm here to remind you where you come from. All this peace retreat is lame done. You can never get rid of me, I live in you. Both of our fire fin you.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So when you saw him dump it off to the back, did you think he was going to pick up the first down there?
Well, I knew one thing. It wasn't his primary target. At least it didn't look like it. Turned out to be the play they needed, though. And it's big because it's the opening drive. So converting that third down, keeping the the drive going.
Yeah, it certainly appeared like his downfield targets were covered. He threw the little dump off to his back, and nice effort picking up the first down, though. And you're right. That opening drive, keep those chains moving.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a second down.
No. Check, Patriot!
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They're going to look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll set up a throw. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. Fighting him off. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Murray now. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That is caught at the 7. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Falcons now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st and 10, Murray looking left side. That's caught by Moore. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity miss there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make...
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. DJ Moore, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, Bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Falcons grab it. And he's got some space here. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads. And you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
Yeah, 5 turnovers last week, now 1 here in the opening quarter.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the on 2nd down, Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Watch him now, Barney.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at this.
Looking to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal. Second and goal, and the lone man in the backfield is Freeman. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case,
trying for right, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing on first down. Murray over the middle. That's complete to McCaffrey. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
At 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
He goes underneath to Freeman. 6 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Carolina getting set to take the field. They're starting to put some space here. First quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Tech McKinley. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Play action. Murray. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Now a play fake here on first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's got it for the Panther touchdown. DJ Moore, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead. Gano the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking downfield for Jones. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back to throw. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They go play action here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Off the play fake. Murray. Murray fighting. Lost the football. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as he'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Murray. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Off play action. Murray. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And this will not be returned. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Detroit! Detroit!
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Off the play fake. Murray. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd down, Murray. And this is caught at the 8. A good pickup there at 22. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Trying to disrupt Julio Jones there, the intended target. A little too close, got the flag thrown.
I'm not sure anyone can cover Julio Jones one-on-one for very long without getting their share of pass interference calls. His size, his speed, his physicality makes it almost impossible to do.
Now on first down, he'll drop the throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll look to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. And Bryant's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. On first down, Murray. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. From the gun, Murray forced out to his left. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A nice gain of 21 yards. Operating from the gun, Murray. And it'll be intercepted. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown.
Brandon, would you say they went from agony to elation in just a few quick seconds on that play?
Probably thought they were about to give it up in the red zone and then touchdown.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way that they drew it up and said, this is the way it's supposed to be done. It just happened.
But the end will justify the means. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game, are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
On play action, they'll throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night. Another miss.
Still on his feet. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards for number 11. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get over them.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. A big play that time on the catch and run. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield?
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Falcons have cut it to within a score. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails? Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And before they can get the play off, here's a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball. That's their first of this second half. All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll try and run with Freeman. And he will get into the end zone as a two-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the fourth. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Murray. Flush to his right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. From the gun, Murray. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard 30-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. DJ Moore from 10 yards out. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
He's going to air one out. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Watch it now, Barty.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get it.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to, and that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. First down now, but that clock rolling. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
They're going to look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. He'll get it up the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Williams now on the return. Good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Carolina getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Murray now. Murray fighting, lost the football, and the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. The Panthers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Operating from the gun, Murray, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. He's back to throw. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Being chased out left. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Extra point try good by Gano. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offense.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty